Jackson and Chapel Hill. The two ACC teams played an overtime game. The Blue Devils prevailing in that one, but not before they had to hold off a tremendous comeback by North Carolina. For more on that game, here's our colleague, Brad Doherty. Brad?
Thanks, Brad. In order for North Carolina to have a chance today here in Cameron, Brendan Haywood will have to stay out of foul trouble. He got into foul trouble at Chapel Hill, and it changed the whole complexion of the game. He stepped out trying to set a screen on Shane Battier, and he picked up his 5th foul. That allowed Carlos Boozer, especially in the second half in the overtime, to take over inside, scoring 10 of his 15 points. Brendan Haywood can't control the middle. He has to stay out of foul trouble, though.
All right, Brad, thank you. Our Toyota starting lineups for Bill Guthridge and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Ed Cota, he will be their point guard and their ringleader here today. And on the other side for Mike Krzyzewski and the Duke Blue Devils, Chris Carrawell, the only senior on the Duke team, playing his final game here at Cameron. And what a wonderful career the young man from St. Louis has had. Our officials, Mike Wood, John Clockerty, and Andre Patillo as we get ready to go.
Brent, it was unbelievably emotional watching Chris Carrawell with his mom at halftime. I mean, at half court, it was unreal to see the emotion and the love between son and mom.
That is mom. You know, Dick, I thought it was one of the most emotional of the senior days that I have ever seen in college basketball.
I had
the
tears
affection that they show for each other. Carrawell and the student body here. So the Tar Heels with the game's first set.
Man-to-man defense, as we expect out of Duke. Aggressive man-to-man.
And a steal? No, Carrawell couldn't get it. Cota went back for the basketball, and the clock resets.
Ed Cota 0-3 in this building. Not many people come here and get W's.
Shot and the first rebound, which is going to be very important, goes to Carrawell and Duke. The two things North Carolina must do here today: rebound and get to the free throw line.
And they can't afford to fall behind early. They've been doing that a lot of times this year. In fact, they've been down by 10 at least on 12 occasions.
Boozer with a pump fake and blocked by Haywood. Duke regains control. 12 on the shot clock. Carrawell up firing in and out. And a fresh Carolina going for the steal out of bounds. Duke basketball.
A lot of emotion on the floor. What a rivalry when you talk about, I think it's the greatest sports rivalry in basketball.
Well, you can certainly see by the numbers, 14 ACC titles apiece. Carolina leads them in national championships 3-2. Duke winning 2 in the 90s, 91 and 92. Battier puts it down and kicks it back out. Haywood, Boozer with that jump shot is a little bit short. Battle for the rebound, and it is Duke coming up with a steal. Driving miss by Nate James, has it underneath in the game's first basket.
What an unbelievable effort right there by Nate James. You talk about versatility. He's had a lot of injuries in his career, Brent, but this kid has made a lot of big plays this year. Oh, the Cameron Crazies love it. Look at the super effort right there by Boozer. Now James with the drive. He slides, glides. Look at the offensive rebound. Great second effort right from Nate James.
So not only do they get a great hustling field goal, but Nate James works his way to the free throw line. I believe it was like 30-16. Duke had 30 free throw attempts in that first game to 16 for Carolina, and the Devils missed their first attempt, but they lead it by a deuce.
Well, that's expected the way Duke attacks the basket. They really rely on dribble penetration.
Carolina turns it over again off Lang's hands and out of bounds.
A big problem for North Carolina all year long, Brad, has been the ability to come out and establish tempo early in a game. They have fallen behind on so many occasions. They went down 17 to Duke in game one and then came back and forced it to overtime.
Battier. There's a 6 shot for Duke, and they are not shooting well, or they'd have a huge lead in this game. Carolina turns it over again. Cota on a sloppy pass. Jason Williams to the rack. Too fancy. Could should have stayed on the inside of Haywood.
That's a great call, Coach Musburger. No doubt about it. He tried to get a little acrobatic. I think he thought you get 3 degree of difficulty because he had an easy layup. Maybe he thought he was in a diving contest. There's the anticipation by the diaper dandy, Jason Williams. Now he takes it up, and my partner's right. He should have just made a simple right-handed layup. What is he thinking? He goes to Duke. He's bright. He's intelligent. He can't think like that. A Vital would make that play. Wow.
But he does make his way to the free throw line.
I'll tell you one thing, those baskets when you shoot free throws are like the Atlantic Ocean. They seem so soft. But when you go to the three-point line, I was Brick City today, Brett. I was Brick City.
I wasn't going to tattle on you.
And I saw you laughing at me. I went 0 for 7. I admit it.
And Jason goes 1 of 2. So Duke is 1 of 3 at that free throw line here in the early going. They lead it 3-0. Forte. No. Rebound. Duke. It was Boozer, the freshman.
Wallace Boozer was big in game 1, as Brad Doherty said in the overtime. He dominated inside with good agility, and he attacked the basket.
James from three-point land. Haywood not dominating on the glass, so Battier comes up with the field goal.
One of my favorite players in college basketball, Brent. Just a classy kid as well. He defends, he rebounds, and he can score.
Here's Capel. The three's off to the right. Bad. Into the hands of your man, Battier.
Shane Battier's had a sensational year. Last game he played, he had 7 threes against Clemson.
Yes, the 3 from Shane Battier on cue from Mr. Vital.
Shane Battier has really improved his range as a shooter. Much more consistent.
Carolina's going to need a timeout here if they can't get some better shots here. Lang couldn't slam it down. Offensive foul is the call against Lang.
Good call, Brent. They just called a timeout. They must have heard my partner, Brent Musburger. Got a TO, baby. Here goes Lang. Got a control. He should have given it up. He had Brendan Haywood for a layup. Brendan should have been close.
It's a shutout. So far. Timeout. And Williams penetrating inside. Boozer to save it. Cota comes up, flips. This should be the first field goal for the Heels. He puts it away.
Forte, not a sensational year for a freshman. Leading them in scoring, 16 points a game. Very active. He can make the 3. He can take it to the basket. They have to find a way to get Brendan Haywood some shots. He doesn't get enough shots offensively.
Boozer going to work, and there's Haywood with a block, and he comes up with the ball. A little more aggressive that time after the block. Now Forte sets for the 3. No. Taps back and foul underneath, and the ball goes over to Duke.
Brendan Haywood came over the back. He's got to be a little bit more active on the inside. Go to our colleague.
So we'll take a break. 15:40 left in the first half, and Duke leads North Carolina 8-2.
Dick, I think the thing that Brendan needs to do more is he needs to flash into the lane. When the ball is being swung around the perimeter, you step in real aggressively, just like Boozer did right there. Your teammates will give you the basketball.
Haywood comes up with another block, and Jason Williams tries a 3. Rebound, Carolina. That was Julius Peppers, the football player, coming away with it. They kick it down inside. Now this time they do get it to him, and he couldn't stop it. Rebound, Carolina.
Came up empty, but it made a nice drop step inside.
James. Rebound, Carolina. Neither team shooting well. Long pass. Here's Capel's open. Got it.
Nice look by Ed Cota. Great vision. He sees the floor so well. As you look at Coach K on that sideline, what a year he's had. He's my choice as National Coach of the Year. What he has done with this program this year, with 4 guys departing for the NBA, is amazing.
By Capel, and it is off a Boozer. Ball goes to Carolina.
Chris Carroll, what's amazing, you know, his first 3 years, he never scored 20 points, and he's done it 12 times. He has stepped up so big offensively this year. is amazing, his improvement. Just like Kenyon Martin down at Cincinnati, who doubled his total.
Carolina digging back in for the fight here, trying to get a rhythm going to their game. Cota penetrates, and he is fouled by Jason Williams.
So many good things happen, Grant, when Cota's allowed to dribble and penetrate into the lane. If he can create and get into that lane, he's so much more effective than he is on playing out on the outside.
Nick Horvath and Matt Christensen check in for Duke. Now they're shorthanded today because Mike Dunleavy is out. Still, of course, the after effects of mononucleosis. He worked out prior to the game, and he believes that he will be back this week for the ACC tournament for the Duke Blue Devils. But it is a shorthanded team here today against a deeper North Carolina team.
Mike Dunleavy is so important for this team. His shooting ability, his ball handling skills, and he gives them a body that plays 25 minutes a game. They only use a six-man rotation normally.
Duke ball. So you can see the point production and how those five are certainly carried the way because they don't have Dunleavy. It is 9.5-point average here today.
And that could be a factor down the end of this game. Fatigue with the heat in the building, the exhaustion, a lot of emotion.
Duke is not shooting well at all. They're only 3 of 14 from the floor. Carolina has to feel real good about that right now as Cota gets inside again and turns it over.
Tried to make the spectacular play. But the one thing that's happening, though, Brent, they're getting good shots.
Williams, and still they're ice cold. Forte comes back down on the freshman. Freshman against freshman. The pull-up not there. 1 and out.
That shot right there. Shot selection so important to throw it as a player. Joseph Forte, a bad shot. Take a look at Brick City, USA. I mean, they must be thinking Musburger and Vitale's playing. Look at those numbers. That could be Saunders and Phelps out there.
Carwell slashes. And another miss.
They're not making the extra pass. Normally they make the extra pass to really get the pure shot. They are forcing a lot of shots, both clubs.
Into Horvath's hands on another turnover.
Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Nick Horvath, by the way, played well in the last game against Clemson. Had 12 points, got some important minutes. Double stack offensively.
Carwell's offensive rebound gives Duke a fresh chance. He's going to come back and fire the J. Yes.
And there's the senior. Stayed 4 years. The tears were streaming down his face today in this building. They had him now by face, Mr. Musburger.
His first field goal here, Dick. 12-19 to go in the first half. 10-5, Duke leads it.
He's my choice as player of the year in the ACC. He's been brilliant all year long.
Back up to a slashing Peppers, who's fouled.
That was a nice play right there by Brendan Haywood. He had the ability at 7 feet to really hang in the air and to find the open Peppers, the football player, slashing down the lane. There's the ball going on the interior, and now he knows he doesn't have the shot, and there's the good angle and drive by Peppers, who had 16 in their win over Georgia Tech, which they won in overtime.
Now Haywood sits and Chris Lang with 2 personal fouls back on the floor, and Peppers will attempt to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, if you will, with now we have Terrence Newby checking in for the Tar Heels.
He's a senior, playing his last game here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. As Bill Guthridge talking to Ed Cota, whose high school coach is here and very proud. Rock Eisenberg is coaching at Buffalo. Look at these numbers, aren't they amazing? 36 years in a row when you talk about North Carolina's program, either 1, 2, or 3 in the ACC. 25 years in a row they've won 20. They've been in the NCAA tournament. That's amazing.
Into Bruiser's hands off the missed free throw.
Right after them is Arizona at 15 consecutive years, and Indiana at 14 to the NCAA.
Dick, what do you think? Nerves here at the start of this game? This is ridiculous by these two teams. James comes up firing, and there, knocks down the tray.
Wide open. It's the anxiety, a lot of emotion, the heat, the spirit, the rivalry. It'll heat up.
Lang to the rack hard, and he'll shoot a pair.
He's played all year with injuries. When we're talking about Mr. Lang on the inside. North Carolina's really been hit with that injury, Bugaboo.
Fouled by Boozer.
What spirit on a campus here yesterday and today, Brad. The enthusiasm, so much excitement. March Madness is here, my friends. March Madness. Can't wait for championship week when the Davids get a chance to play the Goliaths and the shocks and the surprises.
So, Chris Carrawell, young man off the mean streets of St. Louis, raised by his mother, came to Duke and has won everybody's heart. Timeout.
Fancy stuff, Coda.
How about that one? Takes to behind the back. The wrap around the
Terrific play.
Well, Coda ranks 3rd in ACC history and 4th in NCAA history with 981 career assists and counting. He's picked up 2 already here today, but he has 3 turnovers.
The assistant coach here at North Carolina was a great point guard who could handle the rock. Bill Ford, one of the greatest ever to play on a college level.
James picked up by Haywood. Good defense. Good help defense by Carolina that time.
Nice look.
Pass. Pepper strong to the rack, and why not? He's a defensive end.
I'll tell you, he's physical, and he is really agile, and he's mobile. And I'll tell you one thing, he can be hostile, and he is not fragile.
Haywood picks him up. Kisses it in anyway.
Whenever they need a big basket, Battier or Carrawell usually respond. They are the best tandem in America as a 1-2 punch. You understand the art of winning.
Duke a double-digit favorite here today against Carolina, which is unusual in a rivalry of this magnitude. However, Duke has blown out so many teams in Cameron that they are highly respected here by the odds makers. However, Krzyzewski and the Blue Devils have lost 2 recently, to Maryland and to St. John's. And a lot of folks, Dick, have told me they think Maryland right now may be the best team in the ACC. Do you agree with that?
Well, Maryland's playing sensational basketball. They're starting to get play out of Terrence Morris in their last game. If he plays to the level he's capable, the way Dixon and certainly Blake's development and Baxter's been sensational inside, Gary Williams' club certainly can win the ACC tournament.
Dangerous pass.
He's out of bounds. He was out of bounds. I can see that from up here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Dixon and Baxter, they probably make my all-ACC team this year, along with the 3 guys on the floor here. When you talk about Coda and certainly Carrawell and
Coda
Mr. Battier.
Coda banged up here, is receiving some medical treatment, and Max Owens on the floor, along with Terrence Newby now. So they're going to get a cut man in there and get him back, because he's certainly the leader. James wasn't sealed up, couldn't tap it in. Here comes Owens now.
Got to give the edge to North Carolina in terms of bench play. When they bring guys like Owens off the bench and Peppers, they got an advantage today against Duke, playing shorthanded with Dunleavy out.
Owens, baseline's cut off. Battier is there defensively, and now Newby goes to work with Carrawell. Excellent defensive player right on him. Ball knocked free. Here comes Jason Williams. Inside, and Newby got a piece of him as he got him at the top of the rack, and that was almost outstanding defense. That was close to him.
Yeah, Terrence Newby did a great job, but Jason Williams made a mistake. He should have hit the trailer. There's the deflection. He's got a trailer, Brent. He's got to yell, trailer, look at the trailer. Look at the trailer. Look at the guy behind him. You just flip it over the back, and you got a jam and a dunk, and the Cameron Crazies go bananas. Communication is so important when you're in transition with one another. Had a sensational year, Jason Williams. He's gotten better and better as the season's progressed, understanding the role of the point guard. But if I had to pick my diaper dandy of the year, I go to Arizona and Tucson for Jason Gardner. He's been unreal all year running the offense for Arizona.
Is that the young man who left Indiana?
Well, he's from Indiana. You're right. You know your stuff. So you know your geography. Yes, sir. He's a good one.
Forte back on the floor, Dick, and Newby with the basketball here for the Tar Heels, and Coda still getting a break at the 10-minute mark.
North Carolina's not going to go away. I mean, they're going to hang They get better as the game progresses.
Inside, and an easy one for Double-O.
Shoots 72%, and that's why, because once he gets the ball on the interior, the problem is he doesn't get enough shots. He's only had double-figure shots in 2 of the last 12 games.
I think that's his first field goal here today as Boozer steps out to the top of the circle and misfires, and now Forte, they got numbers suddenly. They got a 3-2 here. Newby drives to the paint, up high, no, and Newby comes back, rebound left side, rejected. Battier, Williams, can they get him this time? Forte tried and could not.
Jason Williams takes it to the goal. He opens Beard a little too wide.
Steal by Jason Dick, coming right back down the paint. Two quick ones for the freshman point guard.
Waking up the house, baby. Jason Williams.
Deflection, steal. Cameron, the crazies are rocking.
It's rock and roll time. It's show time. Oh, it's electric here now, Mr. Musburger. Oh, look at this wacko. Look at that wacko. They're stunned. They're shocked.
This is some sequence triggered by Jason Williams. He sets it all up.
Starts right there with a blocked shot by Battier. Now watch this, Brett. He veers a little too wide, but he gets away with it.
Now watch Jason after that.
There's a good anticipation.
Sees the bad pass, comes right back down on the inside. Now Battier goes to work defensively.
He's a minister of defense. Premier defensive player in America.
And to Carrawell for the easy deuce.
How quickly they can respond defensively with their traps.
Dick, Carolina has turned it over 11 times already here.
That's
11 turnovers, and, you know, Cota, you've got to wonder now about that injury. We saw that shot on the sideline. You've got to wonder if that isn't a little more serious than it looked, and they can't get him back on the floor. Haywood jams it back down. You cannot operate much longer without Cota on the floor, I wouldn't think.
Well, they have no shot to win here without Ed Cota. Ed Cota's too valuable. He's the engine that makes them go. It's like having a beautiful car, but if you don't have the engine, you're going nowhere. And Ed Cota is their engine.
That A is wide open, Dick. Forte let him go, and he just stepped out. He's a fine inside-outside threat.
You can't allow him to shoot the three. He's becoming one of the premier three-point shooters in America. Struggling to get any kind of rhythm offensively in their half-court game.
They're keeping him right at the perimeter of the Duke defense. Capel will try to slash. Comes in for the layup. No. Horvath, the rebound for the Devils, who lead it by 11, 25-14 with 7:49 to go in Cameron, first half.
They're trying to get some minutes out of Horvath. And they can rest some of their people.
Carrawell steps up again off the glass. Fakes in the tray.
Baby, when those kind of shots go down, it's going to be tough to be beaten.
Throw it up, and it bounces in for Forte. Brad Doherty, what do we hear about Ed Cota down below?
Over his left eye, and they're putting stitches in his eye right now as we speak. Don't know what's going to happen with him. It's bleeding pretty bad.
Yeah, so exactly. It figured that when he didn't come back that there was more of a problem than we saw. And Battier wanted that 3-2, but there was a whistle. Jason Williams, a freshman from Plainfield, New Jersey, averaging 14 points a game, and he triggers a turn of events in Cameron. Timeout. 12, and you can see since that cold shooting 3.5 minutes, they've been on fire. Forte misses. Lang battling for the rebound. Second chance here for the Heels off the strong offensive rebound for Chris.
Hey, Brent, you got to remember in that sequence when they had that big run as a missed shot, offensive, defensive rebound.
Williams is hit and fouled from behind. It's still no Ed Cota. Brad, what do we hear down below?
Brent, they're giving Ed Cota a couple of minutes to see if the bleeding will subside on its own. They haven't put the stitches in yet. They're waiting to see. It looks like he is going to have a few stitches, though. The unfortunate thing is they're taking time to see if it will heal a little bit on its own, and it's costing Carolina some valuable moments.
Yeah, they need a cut man down there, don't they, Jack?
I'll tell you one thing, Freddie Pacheco would have been a call him, but the bottom line is they missed him so big in that sequence, he was on the sideline when he had that big run.
Battier in underneath, comes up. That's a dozen points for Shane Battier in the first half.
Well, Duke's going to go to full court pressure, trying to trap full court. Now go to tough man-to-man with Cota on that sideline.
Traveling.
They are struggling without Ed Cota. They are a lost team right now. They're frustrated, and they really can't operate without him.
Yeah, Dick, and just to highlight your point, they've turned it over a dozen times already.
In the first half. To equate that, think about this. Temple turns the ball over an average of 9.7 times a game. A game. And they have turned it over 12 times on foreign turf. And you're not going to win away from home if you don't protect the basketball.
Battier slashes to the paint. An open man is Carrawell underneath. Offensive rebound. He'll try the other side.
He's a warrior. He's one of the great warriors of college basketball, along with Mark Madsen of Stanford and Pete Michael, who was disciplined in the last game by Cincinnati.
Carolina looks lost. But it's Tar Heel basketball. You know, Duke lost 5 of its top 7 scores from last year, but the reason why they're surging has been Chris Carrawell. Haywood returns. It's interesting, Dick, that a year ago he averaged less than 10 points a game. He was 5th on the team in scoring, and this year he's averaging almost 18 points a game, so he has stepped it up.
Playing with an option number 5 with Elvin Brand, Levin, and Trajan Langdon. He has become the man, and he's responded, he and Battier. They are special players because they can play a number of positions.
At the shot clock, the misfire, and Peppers hustling underneath, but a steal as Battier tapped it. Williams comes inside, the shot, no. Battier, loose ball on the floor, and it's Tar Heels. They're looking for numbers, and they've got it. Can they do anything with it? Peppers, and he will shoot a pair. Let's see, Christensen fouled him, number 41, the sophomore from Belmont, Mass.
And look at Bill Guthridge. His first year took him to the Final Four. 76 wins in his career. 75%, and he gets all kinds of criticism because he had to follow one of the great giants of coaching, Dean Smith.
Non-shooting foul, ball out of bounds. That is the 5th team foul on Duke, and there are 6 on North Carolina. Haywood fires up a miss off Carrawell's hands. Carolina basketball.
Duke University, if they had Chris Burgess didn't transfer, he was really what they needed to even be a step better because he would have provided some size on the inside with experience, but he's at Utah right now, and they're happy to have him. Very aggressive man-to-man defense, helping one another, closing off driving angle. See the play right there by Battier giving help.
And responsible for a turnover.
Well, he's the minister of defense, was the defensive player of the year.
Williams, great pass to Carrawell coming down, and an equally fine Forte play, but it's Christensen who scores.
Christensen hanging around the basket with that size, gets an easy basket. They are out of control right now in North Carolina.
Forte for 2.
He just took it on his shoulders. He said, you know what? Forget about any half-court offense. I am simply going to the basket. He's got great offensive skills.
May have been the non-Michael Jordan calming call on that. Also, at least according to Coach Krzyzewski, who's up alerting the officials. Coach Carrawell flashing inside.
He can score in a variety of ways. He has made himself an NBA first-round draft choice, a guy that a lot of people didn't think would even be drafted when you talked about him last season. Former Dookie in the house, general manager Billy King of the Philadelphia 76ers.
He will offensive rebound, but traveling is called.
It is really a shame that here on Senior Day, Ed Coda's not in the lineup.
Well, there's a high school coach back in St. Louis at Cardinal Litter. His name is Preston Thomas, and he's awful proud of Chris Carrawell. Timeout. Been back in October since Ed Coda, who has returned. And Brad, what's the prognosis down there?
Brent, he has had the eye, the cut above his eye, stitched and butterflied with the Band-Aid there. Wouldn't tell me exactly how many stitches he had. They said he had a few, though, but I believe he is coming back in. He is going to play. As a matter of fact, he's going in right now.
Yeah, and Brad, they really need him because Duke has outscored Carolina 21-8 since he left. Traveling is the call, and here comes Eddie Coda. Cut over the left eye at the 10:57 mark. And the score at that time was 15-10 Duke.
36-18 now. We'll keep that score with 3:05 on the clock and see if he can cut into that lead, get it to single digits.
Remember, he led a spirited second-half rally in Chapel Hill to force the game into overtime.
Nice pass. Great play. Good movement of the basketball. Great cut without the ball by Haywood. You know, you mentioned that first game. He was really a non-factor in the first half. In the second half, Ed Coda scored 20 points and dominated. Now look at the movement of the basketball. 2 against 1, you just keep the ball a little wide, keep it active, keep the ball moving, and Haywood finishes the play. I really believe that Brendan Haywood could take his game to a big-time level next year if this summer he would go and work with Pete Newell at the Pete Newell Big Man's Camp.
Can't hurt.
Tough team to try and trap.
James.
Wide open shots, Brent. You and I can make those shots. The 12, 14-foot shots. There's no defense rotating over. You can't give them wide open shots.
There was quick defensive rotation. A reminder coming up on the AutoVidel.com halftime report. It'll be John and Digger. Kentucky 70-55 over Florida.
Wow.
And wait till you hear what Michigan State did against Michigan. Blowout city, folks. 114-63. And look at these turnovers, Dick.
It's turnover city. It's been that story for North Carolina. When they went through a little losing streak earlier this year, it was because they were turning the ball over so often.
And missed that time, however. And Christensen comes up with a big offensive rebound.
He's given him some quality minutes inside the space eater.
Williams left wide open again, Dick, your point. He missed the shot, and Christensen gets another offensive
Wide open.
rebound.
Here it is.
James is open.
Wide open, baby. Wide open. Get any shots they want. It's playing horse time. You get any shot you want.
Got to be surprised at the lack of passion by this Carolina team so far. Forte fires into James.
He's got some passion. I'll tell you one thing. He plays hard every time I see him play. Plays with a lot of emotion. He will be a star in that North Carolina uniform from out of DeMatha High School. Morgan Wu belongs in the Hall of Fame for what he's done at a scholastic level.
James missing, and Christensen goes and gets another one.
He's going to become a rebounding hero. He'll retire his jersey. It's unbelievable. He's going to become a star. Hey, how's this for a number? 62 wins as a player in the ACC. Chris Carrawell, that's the most of anyone.
A reminder that tomorrow, two-time U.S. Women's Champion Chris Whitty takes on the world's elite speed skaters over in Korea. The World Sprint Speed Skating Championships tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ABC.
Think about that number, Brad. Think about all the guys that have played in this league. He has won more games as a player in the ACC than anyone, 62. And the second guy, as you look here, the numbers today, first meeting, and the second guy behind him is one of Brad Daugherty's buddies, Sam Perkins, with 56.
Similarities galore, but Carolina will have to show a different attitude if they expect to rally this time. As far as I'm concerned of watching this team, I mean, it takes two teams to have a rivalry, and somebody should give them the wake-up alarm down there. The Tar Heels are not playing well, Dick.
Well, I think they'll come out with some pride here at halftime. They did it back in Chapel Hill. They were down 17. They responded, came back, forced it to overtime.
Foul against Carolina.
You know, you look at Shane Battier. I was just looking at his minutes. His minutes were incredible. How's these from the last 4 games? 38, 39, 38, and 40 minutes.
You know, Dick, as you know, one of the ways you can measure a a team's desire is simply look at the offensive rebounds in the morning. And here, Duke with a dozen to North Carolina's 5. Christensen has 4 of the 12.
That's a great point you made. I usually say that there are 3 ways you can tell whether a team is aggressive. Force steals, block shots, and get on the offensive boards.
Exactly. Nothing like a big-time offensive rebounder. You knew that back in your days at Detroit, college, or with the Pistons, right? Could Bob Lanier get an offensive rebounder or what?
No, he was sitting next to me. He was on the injured list. He was an assistant
That's
coach.
what happened to you.
That's why I got the ziggy. I got fired. I mean, we heard all those stories last night at dinner. Now, we went on all night long, people. I mean, we entertained. I heard about NFL Today, baby. Jimmy the Greek. Heard about Phyllis. Heard about the gang. It was fun. The stories were flowing. There's that aggressive man-to-man defense. Look at Christensen leaning on Hayward. Just putting the body on him. He doesn't have great speed, Christensen, but he's doing what the coach wants. Lay a body on him.
Forte forced that one, Dick, but it was right on the money. Why not? He's a good-looking youngster.
Oh, he really is. He's a solid player inside, outside. He takes the ball to the goal. Putting his hands on his knees could be a little fatigue out there. But they can't come back unless you defend. If you don't defend and stop people, you have no shot when you're down 17 on the road.
Go with the shot clock off. Duke brings it down for the last shot.
The last game I did, a team had a 17-point lead. The ball when they lost to Cincinnati.
Blocked. Forte trying to get the handle. He's got time.
Nice
taps it. The Peppers lay it in.
Nice
Something to build on, Dick, at the intermission.
They had a good effort.
5 unanswered points for Carolina. 42-27. And if it's like the first one, it's just beginning. John and Digger are coming up.
In the minutes he was out, Duke took advantage.
Farewell gets it back.
Another special part of Duke basketball is the ability to share the basketball. Mike Krzyzewski and Duke, they have great balance.
Look at those names as he moves into number 3 past Keith Jennings, Hurley, and Porciani.
What college players Hurley and Porciani were. They really were so unselfish.
Eddie slashes. Gets it back.
He is so active. Great look by Boozer on the inside. Look at the ball movement. Should have made the extra pass. Bad shot.
In Dakota's hands. Carolina looking to put together a spurt.
The one thing Duke has taken away from North Carolina is any transition.
Dakota comes up with a shot.
Wow, that's a miracle shot. That's a miracle shot. They got to get some enthusiasm on the bench as well. They got to get some excitement. Cheer their people on.
Looks like Carolina going to dig in a little bit here in the second half, just like they did in the first game.
Down
Chapel Hill, there's the trap. And Boozer steps it out, and he'll move to the free throw line.
Are you kidding?
It's wide open for him, Nick.
Are you kidding? That's a wide open Jay. I could come down there at 64 headed to one eye and knock that baby down. You saw me do it too, Brent.
Yes, I did.
You saw me before the game. Knock the 12-footer down.
On the drive, Capel foul by Boozer.
Capel taking to the rack strong. Hey, some interesting things. You talk about a #1 seed. I think Michigan State is going to play itself into a #1 seed unless Arizona can beat Oregon tonight and then regroup because they got beat by Oregon State, but they are playing without Lauren Woods. I think if Michigan State can win that Big Ten in terms of the tournament, they can get a #1 seed. And they're my team. I'll tell you right now. They're my team to win the national championship.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. And by the way, they graduated 3 seniors today. Let's salute that. Cleves, Peterson, and Granger will walk down the aisle and receive their diploma up in East Lansing. And that'll make Bill Brill, the writer here in Carolina country, very happy. Because you and he had a great discussion before the game. It was interesting. I wish I would have taped it.
Capel. And it's 46-33. It's 13.
I always knew you were a great broadcaster, but I didn't know you were so intellectual and into all the aspects of academia. Unbelievable.
That's 58.
Oh, yeah.
It's the tray. It's either Battier or Carwell, Dick, when it gets a little tough.
Hey, Brad Doherty, think about it. I've never seen Carolina give so many open shots.
Dick, it's like they're stuck thinking about what they want to do defensively instead of reacting. Duke's getting an awful lot of open shots. Carolina needs to play with a little bit more a desire, a little bit more reckless abandon. I think it would help this team tremendously.
Hey, they didn't play like that when you played, my friend. You were very successful here.
We had a good record here at Duke, but we always came and played as hard as we possibly could, threw all caution into the wind. This is a huge rivalry. You got to play hard and have fun.
And you had a few friends helping you, too, by the name of Perkins and Company.
It was all me, Dick.
Here's the left to Lang.
There's Lang working on the inside. He has had such a tough year physically. They can get back in this game. Duke looks a little bit sloppy, as you see right there. They got a little run.
Yeah, but Cody gives it right back. And then he's forced to foul Carwell. Otherwise, Chris was going to come down with a lead at 3-on-1.
Let's be very honest about it, Brent. The numbers don't lie all year long. I should take a look right here. Turnover, sloppy play. The numbers don't lie. This is a very mediocre North Carolina team. Mediocrity at best. I mean, all season long, it's been up and down.
Haywood was not mediocre on that block.
Bill Guthridge's club just really short-handed. They don't have the kind of personnel they've had when they had certainly the Jamesons and Carters, who, by the way, Mr. Carter, what about Eric Cannon?
James. Rebound. And Brad, what's your thoughts about this Carolina team?
Well, Brad, I think this Carolina basketball team has improved throughout the season. I think the expectations obviously were very lofty in the beginning of the season. Chris Lang being hurt this team very, very badly. Being sick, had a lot of nuclear or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. They never really got on track, and because of that, they've always had an uphill battle. I think all these guys have improved and done their very best this year, though.
James slashing for Duke, and it's 51-35 with 16 to go.
That was spoken eloquently by a Tar Heel graduate.
Turnover.
Turnover City really not digging in.
Give it back.
You got to dig in defensively.
We have seen prettier games in this rivalry. Trust me. Timeout. 51-35. Duke leads it.
Let's see. College in 4 years. Costs up 40% over the next 5. Somebody do the math here.
It'd be great if our money would grow as fast as these kids. Can't
Will
believe
paying for college be as painful as this? It's getting ugly.
Hey, that kid just dropped a pretzel? Because I like pretzels. I really like
We'll
pretzels.
be able to help with their
I
education.
wonder if we should have put that money in a trust. Maybe we would have.
I hope she was kidding about college in Hawaii.
Thank you, Payne Weber.
Send your phone company a message. Join us at phonefree.com, and calling long distance will be totally free. And you know something? So will you. Phonefree.com. Let freedom ring.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Freedom. Control. What a ride. Just you and your laptop. Log on to autobytel.com for dealer cost info, reviews, and a low, no-haggle price. It's a hassle-free trip. Autobytel.com. The road to your next car.
NCAA basketball presented by Payne Weber on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us. And AutoBytel.com, the road to your next car.
Yeah, some big head knocking going on today. And there's the championship banner, 91 and 92.
Wow.
Kentucky over Florida today, 85-70. And Notre Dame with a huge run over Georgetown, 77-54. You would think, wouldn't you?
They're in. They're in. They're Lock City. Celebrate Matt Doherty, a former Tar Heel.
Capel on the break inside and one.
That was a nice play. Good movement of the basketball. Great angle on the cut. Taking it to the goal. You talk about passion. That is what Matt Doherty has brought to the Notre Dame program. An enthusiasm, an excitement, and a passion. Look at the ball movement right there. There's a good look by Coda. Drops the bounce pass. And Capel. Quality people. Jason Capel comes from a great family. Converts on the basket. Hey, Notre Dame went through a little tough time, but with 17 wins and 5 over nationally rated teams, I'll tell you now, listen to Craig Thompson, the head of the committee, Notre Dame will be in. Yesterday he said you got to take in consideration teams that have big, big wins. They're in, Digger. They're in, baby. Celebrate. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Da, 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 da.
Making Carolina and Duke graduates ecstatic everywhere. It's Vitale.
They're back here, only down 13. Come on, get with the game, Mr. Musburger. Get with the game. Instead of asking me about Notre Dame.
6 o'clock of the game.
Oh, good ball movement. Trip.
Inadvertent. James goes down. And he was fouled over there in the corner.
They're really excited about some of the kids.
Peppers thought he had a running back coming in.
He's got some body. Hyper dandy in football, was outstanding. Little zone right now. Should be able to get a wide open shot. Step in the gap.
James, the 3, yes.
Good inside outside play. You know who made a nice little pass? Christensen. He really's been a solid contributor.
Duke basketball on the turnover.
Getting danger time right now for North Carolina. If they're going to make a run, Grant, they got to turn it up in the next 4 minutes.
Very well misfired that time. And Capel, good block out on James, who was trying to get the offensive rebound.
Well, he's a fundamentally solid player. Capel has a great understanding of the game. The first matchup had 12 points, 9 rebounds.
And that's offensive foul on Forte.
Mr. Padillo with the call. Excellent call. Bill Guthridge on that sideline. They don't come any nicer. A gentleman like you cannot believe. There's the contact going around the back, out of control. Williams takes the charge. And he really understands basketball. He goes about it a different way than some people.
So our Bucks storyline, 20 turnovers for the Tar Heels in this game, and Duke with 14 offensive rebounds. And Matty and Carrawell, 30 points between them, leading the way as James comes inside, misses, rebound Carolina.
That's been the story of Carolina all year, turning the basketball over.
Rejected Battier, back out of bounds, Carolina basketball.
When you think about guys, as you look at Mike Krzyzewski, second on the list in total wins in the NCAA tournament. He has 48. Number 1, Dean Smith, 65. A lot of people would have thought John Wooden.
Bodies flying and no whistle. And the open man gives it to Coda, slashes and draws the foul. Well, the road to the Visa Triple Crown Challenge on ABC begins next Saturday. Get an early look at some of this year's top 3-year-olds in the Florida Derby next Saturday at 5:30 Eastern. High Yield will go off. Probably is the favorite. Already one of the early favorites to win the Derby after that victory at the Fountain of Youth Stakes. Greenwood Lake will get some betting support down there at Gulfstream too as Capel knocks down the 3.
I am amazed with your knowledge of all sports. You know the football people, you know the horse racing. What don't you know? You know hockey. I couldn't name 5 players last night in hockey.
Knocked away from Jason Williams, loose ball, and Carolina putting together a spurt. Here comes Forte.
Give it up.
Peppers in low.
I like Peppers. He makes things happen. He made them happen in the overtime win over Georgia Tech in their last game with 16 points. They're back. It's down to 11. Got to get into single digits, though, psychologically to believe that you're coming back.
The miss. That will help. Here comes Coda.
They can't get open.
They can have numbers. Open Capel fires. 3 ball misses. Out of bounds. Duke basketball. Big miss.
You know, Jason Williams missed that shot down on this end of the floor, but again, wide open. I guess I'm spoiled. When I see North Carolina's uniform, I think of all the greats, the guys like Michael Jordan and Brad Daugherty and certainly Stackhouse and Wallace and Carter and Jamison, and you just don't see that explosiveness. They don't have that kind of personnel. The potential to be an explosive player, Joseph Forte.
Battier. 3 ball.
It's wide open. It's wide open. They're just standing on the line. They're lucky they've been missing that 3. The trifecta is wide open.
Coda lob. Carolina ball.
Shane Battier and Carrawell have improved so much offensively. Last year they were role players. They did all the intangibles. This year they've become a star.
Forte. Didn't get the bounce. Duke coming again. And deep 3. NBA trifecta Battier.
Hello, Mr. Battier. Oh, Mr. Battier has become a star. Oh, Mr. Battier, I love your ability. He made my Elite 8. I'll announce it on ESPN Wednesday. The place is alive, Mr. Musburger. They're alive here. I picked it up defensively, a lot more emotional defensively now.
Boozer. Now it's Carrawell's turn, and he'll flash to the rack and draw the foul.
Danger time right now for North Carolina. Oh, these Dukies, Cameron faces are alive. Everywhere we go, people try to emulate them. You got the Flowers of Auburn, the Rowdy Reptiles in Florida, but the Cameron Crazies are special. Take a look at the big 2.
Isn't that something?
What a tandem. Beautiful kids, Brent. People don't know unless you share time with both guys. They're just beautiful people. They're exactly what the NCAA guide, the book says, student athletes. I think Battier could eventually go on and be chairman of the board at General Motors. That's the kind of kid he is. Very intelligent, very bright. This kid, as you said so well early, came from the streets of St. Louis. Was a little bit worried about coming here. Didn't know if he would fit in. Arrived on a campus with a rundown 92 Dodge, and he saw all those beautiful sports cars on campus. I will tell you something. He will not ride a 92 Dodge next year.
So Shane Battier, he's doing his Reggie Miller impersonation again, and Mike Krzyzewski loves it. Timeout.
Let's see. College in 4 years. Costs up 40% over the next 5. Somebody do the math here.
It'd be great if our money would grow as fast as these kids. I can't believe
Will paying for college be as painful as this? It's getting ugly.
Hey, that kid just dropped a pretzel? Because I like pretzels. I really like
We'll
pretzels.
be able to help with their
I
education.
wonder if we should have put that money in a trust. Maybe we would have... I hope she was kidding about college in Hawaii.
Thank you, Payne Weber.
I need a car?
There's a whole new way to shop for a used car.
No, a convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Three words for all you people stuck in a food rut: Tony and Todd.
Get our new hickory bacon dog with crispy bacon, cheese, and hickory sauce. Or an extra long chili cheese coney. Your choice with lots of tater tots for a special low price.
America's driving. Ever get the feeling some people just stop trying? At Avis, we take a novel approach to service. We give it.
There will be a next one. One who changes the game by control, by speed, by power. The NHL on ABC.
Jeff Capel's in the house. He can't lose. Either his alma mater, Duke, or his brother, Jason, over at Carolina. There's Jerry Krause. He's discovered it.
What is he
Big
doing
Elton
here?
Brand, and he brought in Big Cartwright with him to check that guy out down there. And then he'll have to negotiate with this guy. Notice they're not sitting side by side. That's David Falk. He kind of roughed up the Bulls in some Michael Jordan negotiations a few years back, you might recall. And Forte bringing it down with Carolina in trouble. 62-43, 11:46 to go.
Well, David's here because his daughter interviewed yesterday trying to get into the university. She's a junior.
Coda's great tap pass to Haywood. What an assist by Ed Coda.
Anticipates really well. Has a great feel for the game. David Falk's daughter, Dana, a junior in high school with an outstanding resume, hoping to be a Dookie.
Farwell's pull up is short. Here comes Ed Coda again.
Put themselves in a big hole, down 17 here, Brent.
Looking for his 9th assist of the day if he can find somebody.
Got one right there. Should have shot it.
Didn't come up with it, and Battier forces the jump ball.
Look at Battier diving for loose balls.
Look at this 8th assist. Dick, this is as pretty assist as you're going to see. You have got to know where your teammate is. What a feel.
He has great understanding, great vision, great feel for the game, anticipates. He just doesn't react, he anticipates. When you react, you're behind the action. Wonder why Jerry Krause come over here to see you. As you look at Wojciechowski, tough Wojo trying to climb the ladder in a coaching profession.
You got to watch Chris Carrawell. You've got to think about him a little bit. Maybe not that high. Lang slams it down.
Well, if he gets the first pick, there's only one kid to take number 1. I mean, you don't have to be a genius. It's Kenyon Martin. I mean, that's Lock City. Even though they got Elton Brand, you take both. You worry about having that problem. And 15 down.
Battier steps out and misfired that time into Coda's hands. Forte knocks it down.
Well, nice transition basketball right there by North Carolina. And again, the two, Coda and Forte. Nice play. Mike grabbing his shirt, calling for a special play.
Now, here's where the Crazies can help, Dick. And there was an article in the Raleigh newspaper that the Cameron Crazies had lost their edge after that St. John's setback in here. Carrawell up, firing, missing, and into the hands of Coda. And here they come again.
They have not had a good night shooting the basketball, dude. That's what they would travel. Gave it up.
The extra step.
Well, he gave it up to the wrong guy right there. You don't give it to Brendan Haywood out on the perimeter on the wing. One thing North Carolina is now rolling their sleeves and really folding. They're coming up and playing right now.
It's swimming upstream because of 21 turnovers today.
Exactly. Turnover city, man, and we're not talking apple turnovers. He's been quiet. Loser's been quiet.
And one.
He's been quiet, but he's not quiet there. From out of Alaska, he was sensational in game 1. In the overtime, he was the difference. He took over. He's got great footwork on the inside. There's Boozer, Diaper Dandy locking inside. There's the reverse layup, lays it with the left hand. He gives Duke an inside presence.
They've had the Alaskan assassin here already, Trajan Langdon. What about Iceberg?
Yeah, maybe right. I don't know, but they must have a lucky thing going on up in Alaska, Duke. They recruit internationally. I did a book signing yesterday, Brett. I'm going to tell you, I was asking the kids where they're from. You can't believe where they come from. It's unbelievable. All over. Nice pass. Good ball movement.
And Forte gets the bounce.
Joseph Forte, I love him. They're going to get some good players coming in next year to help them. And Bursticker comes back from an injury. Curry, Morrison and Boone arrived. Neil Singleton. Peter Gammon saw a play. He's a North Carolina graduate, and he thinks the 7'6" kid has a world of potential from out of New England.
Yeah, but can he hit the curveball?
That's all Gammon's wants to know. Can he hit the curve or can he throw 95?
Battier looks in. On the drive, yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. We have seen him shoot the three. We've seen him drive. We've seen him defend. Can he play big-time basketball or what?
Absolutely.
He's a big-time performer, a PT-peer, baby.
Capel. Rolled in. You know, you got to wonder about Battier if he will leave early. Says he won't, but if you're a Duke fan, you just kind of hold your breath after last year.
Exactly. You worry after you see what happened with kids like Brand and McGetty and Avery. Can't tell. I personally think he'll come back to school. I think education is too important to him. Oh, yes. Is he a star? Oh, is he a star?
That could be money in the bank, my friend.
Oh, he's a star. Long arms. He can play on any team I coach.
Jump hook Lang. It'll rattle in. And, you know, Dick, even though they can't seem to close back down, and remember they were outscored 21-8 without Cota, they're still hanging in the neighborhood. If they can somehow shut them down defensively.
That is it. You beat me to the punch, Coach Musburger. On defense, they are just trading baskets. That's a good defensive effort right there. Good trap.
Timeout, Duke. And Duke calls a timeout.
I have such respect for both these programs. They do it the right way. You talk North Carolina, you talk about Duke, you don't hear about NCAA investigations. Just quality schools.
You know, Dick, this week's Payne Weber Senior of the Week is St. John's guide, Marvis Bootsy Thornton. He maintained a 3.0 GPA. He will graduate this spring. He's an active participant in the St. John's Bread and Life Soup Kitchen, which organizes visits to homeless shelters in Brooklyn, New York, and, of course, on the court. He plays his best against the best, averaging better than 19 points a game, and Payne Weber will donate $1,000 to the Senior of the Week Scholarship Fund in the name of Bootsy Thornton. And when we talk about teams that could surprise in the NCAA tournament,
St. John's.
Yeah, isn't St. John's among the ones that could make it? Are they good enough to be ranked 2 seed coming into the tournament, Dick, or are they going to be a 3 or 4?
I don't think they can go up to a 2 seed, but I think they can be a 3 seed. But you look at teams that I think that can really make a run.
Yeah, you got
They
them.
are LSU, Iowa State, Tulsa, and St. John's. Very dangerous basketball teams, and I don't mean just Sweet 16. They have potential to go further. That backcourt of Barkley and Ford, and I was glad the NCAA showed some logic and put Eric Barkley back in uniform for his game this weekend.
Good second half show. Williams fouled. You had LSU on that list. They're a winner today over Miss, 64-60.
Stromile Swift, outstanding player inside. We're going to hear some new names during the tournament. Marcus Pfizer. I know you love your basketball. Catch Mr. Pfizer of Iowa State. He is by far, to me, the player of the year in the Big 12.
Yeah, I saw some highlights on him the other day, and he plays a little bit like Kenyon Martin. That aggression, pound you down low, can shoot it outside. Good-looking player here as he rolls in for Jason Williams.
When you look at the youth and you look at Williams, a lot of teams certainly are playing so young, but you look at Cincinnati and Arizona with backcourts that are freshmen dominated in terms of Satterfield and DeMar Johnson to win a national title. It's never happened, Brent, with a freshman backcourt.
Well, we got a timeout here, and our coverage of basketball presented by Payne Weber will return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
We need a car?
A minivan.
No.
An SUV.
With leather.
Blue.
Green.
Bluish green?
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Now we need insurance.
And a loan.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Small business software, $400. Letterhead, $610. Office supplies, $90.
At the Heart, and it was written with a non-sports writer, and if you're interested in leadership and someone who's done a great job of that here at Duke, then it is certainly a worthwhile read. Leading with the Heart.
I'll tell you, Mike does. There's no doubt about it. Of course, his heart and soul, and is a great motivator. Always has little goals that he gives the team to try and inspire them.
Davis has it knocked away and out of bounds by you-know-who, Shane Battier. Dick, he has to be impressing the NBA scouts with this performance. I'm going to tell you that. A big guy who can step out and knock down that shot from the outside and play defense, has a long arm, a big hand. He has a lot of things going for him. Also seems to have a great attitude on the floor also.
Oh, he's got great basketball IQ. Great teammate, has great admiration, respect for people. All you have to do is watch a practice session. He just blends in so well.
Jose with a pull-up.
He bothered Cortez.
Taps it off.
He bothered him there with the long, long arms. Well, you can take it to the bank, Mr. Musburger. Duke will be going up to Winston-Salem to play in the NCAA tournament. They will be in the East, and they will be #1 seed, and they have earned that right. They have had a fantastic year after losing 4 players in the NBA.
Yep, Mike Krzyzewski, the favorite to be the ACC Coach of the Year with this remarkable makeover of a team which went to the finals, losing to Connecticut, and then lost all those players to the NBA.
Well, so many times we see the superstars never recognized. Dean Smith, I felt, never got enough in terms of Coach of the Year trophies and awards that he deserved.
Spinning move in the lane, didn't get the roll, but he'll shoot free throws.
I'll tell you a team that's coming on, who beat North Carolina early and really was a disappointment all year, but they're starting to come on, UCLA. They're on the bubble, and I think if they win their 2 games next week, which they should at home, and now they have Jerron Rush back, I believe they can get a bid and be the 4th team out of the Pac-10. They're down 2 to Stanford today at the half. At Stanford.
Stanford plays Arizona this week, don't they?
They play them up in Arizona, but Lauren Woods has been out. Lauren Woods has been out with a bad back. That's a big loss for Ludo. And I'll tell you a dangerous team I could have had on that list, Maryland, with Turk.
Yeah, I agree.
Gary Williams. You talk about a guy that lost a lot of players.
He's done a great job of coaching.
Steve Francis, Obino Ekezie,
My friend Tony Kornheiser in the Washington Post had a very thoughtful piece about Gary. He really thinks he's the national Coach of the Year, which I found it very interesting because he did have to remake that Maryland basketball.
Yeah, he did a great job. There's no question. I'm giving my vote to Mr. Krzyzewski. He spent a little more for me on dinner than Gary did.
Yeah.
I love Gary, though. His enthusiasm.
Battier is fouled by Pepper.
You know, look at that, Battier. Terrence Morris has to step up.
Well, last year was brother against brother in Las Vegas as Jeff Burton outdueled Ward Burton for the victory. Daytona 500 winner Dale Jarrett heads the field this year as ABC Sports presents the CarsDirect.com 400 live tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific from Las Vegas.
I can't wait, March Madness. I go to the studio in the middle of the week. Digger's got to keep that seat warm for me, and he and I will have a blast out there. Such an exciting time of the year, but between then, I am going to see some baseball, baby. Tomorrow, I am going to see Mr. Griffey down there. Come down. I know you went to see McGuire the other day.
Can't beat spring training in Florida. Candy, my friend, as Ed Coder goes in for the layout.
Takes the gap, attacks the basket. I don't know. Do you get a feeling that North Carolina can come back? I know we get into other issues, but I just haven't felt that I've seen the defensive effort that can get them back in the game.
Williams.
Look at his shots he's getting.
Strong rebound. Now can they cut it down to 10 here? They still might have. They got 5:18 left. Forte. Yes! They're back in it. Yes! And Forte nails the three. 71-62, and here we go. 5:11 for this one.
Now we get down to winning time. They got it to 9. They've been very fortunate that Duke has not shot well.
Wide open. Carrawell comes up on Haywood. Yes, again.
Wide open. There it is again. Reverse the basketball. Carrawell making the big play. He's been doing it all year long.
Coda's turn, and he's tied up. Goes over on the possession arrow. Duke basketball. So they cut it to 9. Carrawell hits a field goal. Then they force a jump ball, get it back with 4:40 to go, and they answer.
Well, you don't see the body language on a defensive end. Take a look at the body language. You don't see anybody digging down defensively. Very passive, hoping that they miss a shot rather than force them to take a bad shot. That is what you're seeing on a defensive end. They're just taking time down off the clock now.
It's going to be James if he can get him up
That's
firing.
a bad shot. Yeah! Oh, that was a bad shot, baby! That was a bad shot from Saunders and Digger! Oh!
Forte!
That was a good shot. Baseline beauty, Joseph Forte. He's a dazzling diaper dandy.
What a save by James with the shot clock running out. He had no choice but to take that shot from the left corner. There was not an option because the shot clock was about ready to expire. That's why he threw it up.
Now they're going into what they call their scoring offense, but it's like a delay. They go foul line extended, try to spread the court.
Battier, yes, the three.
It's over, Mr. Musburger. Normally I would never say that in a Carolina game, but it's over. Warm up the bus. Get them out of here because they're not guarding people. You must guard people.
Knocked away. There's a team that's guarding people, but the whistle.
And I love what that uniform represents. It represents greatness when you look at that North Carolina uniform. It represents pride. It represents quality players, but you got to play defense.
79-64, Duke over North Carolina.
Let's see. College in 4 years costs up 40% over the next 5. Somebody do the math here.
It'd be great if our money would grow as fast as these kids. Can't believe.
Will paying for college be as painful as this? It's getting ugly.
Hey, that kid just dropped a pretzel? Because I like pretzels. I really like
We'll
pretzels.
be able to help with their
I
education.
wonder if we should have put that money in a trust. Maybe we would have. I hope she was kidding about college in Hawaii.
Thank you, Payne Weber.
I want it to be a new way of looking at things.
I want it to be larger than life.
I want it to be the second industrial revolution.
I wanted to level the playing field.
Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and the network's businesses need to take advantage of it. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
A cash cow. Right now. Over me.
Uniroyal tires with nail guard seal most tread punctures instantly, permanently, and repeatedly. Nail guard tires, only from Uniroyal.
I need a car.
There's a whole new way to shop for a used car.
No, a convertible. A red one. With under 15,000 miles.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily, it's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
You couldn't help me with a loan, could you? Can we help you?
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
NCAA basketball presented by Payne Weber on ABC Sports. Brought to you by Payne Weber. Thank you, Payne Weber. Beck's, a beer apart. And Autotrader.com, the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Well, Coach Mike Krzyzewski has said repeatedly that he has great leadership. And you can see the Tri-Captains today have equaled North Carolina's scoring output of 64 points apiece, led by Battier with 30 points in it. So he has 30 of the 64 himself. Coda fires in a three.
I've always said that Ed Coda to me is too unselfish. I don't think he thinks offense enough in shooting the basketball.
Looking for steals. They'll have to gamble. And pretty soon they're going to have to.
They're trying to say
be
trap.
even more aggressive.
Look at Jason saying trap. See, hit the post and you go opposite. Hit the post and you go opposite.
Foul.
Once you get the ball in a post, a lot of good things happen against double teams. Mike Krzyzewski said it all started for them in terms of his era in 1986 with Johnny Dawkins and Jay Billis, who does a fine job with us at ESPN. You look at Johnny Dawkins to the right of Coach K, and you see the jerseys hanging, number 24. Quality young man. He'll be heading up the ladder in coaching, just like Quinn Snyder and Tommy Amica. Tell Snyder to relax. Missouri's going to get in and be the 6th team out of the Big 12. I know he's probably very nervous, but tell him to relax, Brent. Send him a message.
I think you just did.
You can hear me out there?
They hear you everywhere. Okay, on the drive.
I have never felt, even cutting it to 9, that North Carolina was really in this. Have you?
No, especially after James knocked down that miracle tray over there with the shot clock running out. I said, that's it.
North Carolina's been so hurt, though, with those injuries to Curry and Bursticker. Took away all their depth quickly.
Nothing doing.
It's Duke, baby. They're number 1. They're going to be a number 1 seed in the East. Cincinnati is going to wrap up the Midwest. Certainly the West will be Stanford, and it's just a matter of who will go south. Will it be Arizona? Will it be Michigan State? Will it be Ohio State?
And the question remaining here today will be the margin of triumph.
Closing out a chapter of his career.
Sewell loses it. Dive, loose ball, comes up now. Carolina, that's a shot clock here in the background. Forte drives through, got it down. 80-69.
Forte played in high school with Keith Bogan, star for Kentucky, who put a whipping today on Florida. Florida has to learn to win away from home.
Well, we talked about Shane Battier, and here's what Coach Mike Krzyzewski had to say about it.
Besides watching a Duke win or a Duke loss, or a videotape of one of our games, the next time you watch a game over, just watch Shane. Just watch Shane, and you'll see the game played at an extremely high level all the time. Defensively, offensively, in between things, at huddles. You'll see a kid out there who's trying to make an impact on the game every second he's out there.
He's such a team-oriented individual. I mean, he plays within the team all the time. He's just a classy young man, and I firmly believe he will be back next year. He made my Elite 8. I know you want to know, so we'll talk about Pfizer. We'll talk about, certainly, you got to like Troy Murphy and Kenyon Martin. A.J. Guyton's going to make my All-American team, and Carroll and Chris Minn and Courtney Alexander. What do you see that score in Wiz down at Fresno State?
54-53, Titan, UCLA, and Stanford out in the Pac-10, and a big game. You know, North Carolina fans realize, they can still wind up with a 3rd seed in the ACC tournament if Virginia loses at home tonight against Maryland, and that won't be easy. Virginia's struggling a little bit lately, and Maryland coming on a little bit, but that is the other way that they can wind up with the 3rd seed in the ACC tournament.
I think one of the amazing stats in all of basketball, 36 years in a row to be number 1, 2, or 3 in the ACC says a lot about North Carolina and its basketball program.
Agreed.
And all the years, never any NCAA investigations. Dean Smith, he set a tone, made them a role model for so many programs across America, that uniform. But I wish they get rid of the NC and go back to North Carolina across that chest.
Sewell closing out his Cameron career. The only senior on this Duke team. And his final minute and a half is coming up now.
Here it is, Mr. Carwell. Yes. Player of the year in the ACC. Turned his game up a notch to become a star. Went from a player that had no chance in the Leon Eyes to be drafted to a first-round draft choice. Matured by coming back to school.
Coda.
Now you tell me why he doesn't shoot more often.
Well, he's also an outstanding point guard, probably not selfish. Tries to distribute to his teammates. And Sewell, with 1:17 to go, and Duke leading it by 12 points. And the Payne-Weber postgame report is coming up next.
I guess Digger going to be talking about ecstatically about Notre Dame going to be in the NCAA tournament after that win over Georgetown. Oh, Digger, that's a big one for the Irish. Take a look at these numbers here between Mr. Carwell and Cota. Ed Cota would like one number to change, and that's simply on the scoreboard because he'll be 0-4 here, but he shouldn't feel bad about that because he gave everything he had. That's the number I'd like to change right up there on that scoreboard. I want to simply say, Mr. Musburger, it's been great. I've had loads of fun all year working. It's our last time together this year. God willing, I hope we're back together again next year, my friend.
I've enjoyed every minute of it.
It's been a really super...
Wish you and all the guys a lot of luck in the upcoming tournament. I will be watching somewhere, somehow.
I know you, Blake, Scott, your sons will be there having a ball at your marina down here in Miami. Boozer. Oh, yes, Boozer. He was a McDonald's All-American, and the game is going to be here in 2001. The McDonald's All-American High School game is going to be right here. What a great place to have it.
Forte makes it a 12-point game again with 50 seconds to go.
I'm putting pressure on you big time right here nationally on TV. You better put May 27th on your calendar, and you better put that date on, and you better be in Naples, Florida. That's all I'm going to say. That's my daughter's wedding, and I expect to see Arlene and Brett Musburger at the front table.
All right. And in the meantime, we'll watch you and Digger and Quinn Buckner along with Chris Fowler. You'll host this 90-minute show, and I know you'll be talking to us from the ACC tournament Sunday, March 12th, 6 Eastern time. So if you're out on the links and you haven't seen where everybody's seated and everything, you want to get home, make sure you don't miss that ESPN show. And let me correct that time for you, folks. It's 6:30. I am just alerted by Mark Loomis down in our truck. It's 6:30.
You mentioned Mark Loomis. We see player go to the deck. Great to see him coming up. He'll be going out to Pinehurst tomorrow. Wow, that's a nice little journey. Our producer.
He's got a pretty good backswing, my friend.
I just wish I had a swing. Mike Krzyzewski just marching on. The numbers he's posting are just incredible. And this is a warrior from out of Brooklyn, New York. Has given it all to that Carolina blue uniform. Has a sense of pride. I spoke to him before the game and just thanked them for a lot of great memories. Thanked he and Carwell for really thrilling me for 4 years watching them play.
There's the 13-point lead, and here, I believe, will be 2 substitutions for Carolina. And there will come a time here in the closing seconds of this game when Krzyzewski will take Carwell off the floor.
He's still nervous. Mike's still nervous. He's saying 13. Look at his face. He said, we're not out of this yet. 49 ticks on the clock. We're only up 13. Mike wants to go down to his son-in-law's restaurant, have something to eat after. Joey Savarino's his grandson. Nice little Italian baby. He's going to married a nice Italian guy. There's a dunk.
12 on the Lang dunk. 88-76. Here comes the last 40 seconds. And a foul called against Carolina on Lang.
Mike's still nervous. He wants to make that substitution, but down deep he's saying, I don't know, maybe it's one of those miracle North Carolina comebacks they've had over the years. Oh, Bill Guthridge is going to make some subs. Going to give some kids a thrill to play here at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Yeah, he's running up the white flag with...
Come on, Mike, we got to get a standing O. We got to get a standing O. I want to stand. You want to stand. I had tears rolling down my eyes when I saw Chris and his mom hugging before the game.
Eddie Cota, his last game at Cameron.
Quality young man. Eddie Cota going to the sideline.
Now here, the substitution, I believe, is about to be made. It'll be Horvath, and he held up the game with the official.
That's right. Better be for Carwell.
Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this ovation.
doesn't touch you. The beauty of a young man staying his 4 years, responding to the challenge to be a star, taking his game to a level way up high. So beautiful to see the development of a young guy. He came here as a young kid, and he's become a young man.
And the story of his background is certainly worth repeating because he was not from a privileged family, to say the least. He was from some tough streets in St. Louis, and he asked Coach Krzyzewski, he said, "Coach, do you really think that I can make it as a student at Duke?" And he said, "Yes, you can if you apply yourself." And, you know, to know Chris Carrawell and what he has accomplished academically as a human and the way he relates to the other students, Dick, apparently he stays after and talks to them, signs autographs, very much a part of the student body. And it's just a wonderful story.
Yes, sir. Mike Krzyzewski said he came here street smart and now has combined it with a Duke education. He's got a street education, a Duke education. As you look at his numbers, that have gotten better and better throughout his career. But you know what's really special? As you said, he came from the streets of St. Louis. They had no nets on the baskets where he played at Fairground Park. Played with a lot of tough guys as a kid and made himself a player. But he has great admiration and love for all his teammates.
90-76.
Certainly not going to be recognized as one of the great players of all time when you think of Grant Hill and Leitner, but he will be a Hall of Famer at Duke because of his versatility, his toughness, and his winning mentality. The winningest player ever in the ACC is Duke.
Wins it by 14. They have now won 5 in a row over Carolina.
The last coach to have a big streak was 7 in a row, Vic Bubis. And I always felt Vic Bubis left coaching too early.
Sewell is the man. No question about that. But today, he had a lot of help from Shane Battier. They are the two ringleaders. Phil Ford of the Carolina staff embracing the two now down on the floor.
Such class being shown by North Carolina. Look at the hugs, the respect. They battle 8 miles apart, but there's a great deal of respect between all these players, coaches. Just hope the fans have that same kind of attitude with each other. Look at the admiration and the respect. You can see it right there, Brad.
So they walk the walk.
They talk the talk, they walk the walk, and they are going to be a #1 seed in the East. And who would have ever thought that Duke, come this March, after losing Brand, Langdon, Maggette, and company, will be a team to be reckoned with in the postseason at March Madness. Remember this, they started off 0-2.
It is such a great scene here because they're trying to make their way over to Brad Doherty, who is stationed down below.
Yeah, poor Brad.
The student body down on the floor is not making this an easy walk. And let's go down to Brad. Brad.
One second. Thank you, guys. I'm here with Shane Battier and Chris Carrawell. I'm going to start with Shane. Shane, a huge ball game today for you. Every time North Carolina made a run, a little run, you seem to answer their call.
Well, this game was for Chris. It was his senior day, and we wanted to send him out for the win. So everything I did today, I dedicate to my man, Chris.
Wonderful game. All I want to know is, are you going to be back next year?
Well, I think so. I got a few things to work on, so we'll see.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now we'll step in here. Chris, wonderful game here with the senior Chris Carrawell. You had a great all-around game. You two teams battled early for the first 10 minutes of the game, 5-point game. Ed Cota gets hurt, goes out. You guys take up the intensity. Was that planned? Did you take advantage of that?
Oh, definitely. With Ed going out, that's important. You know, we kind of got to boost the confidence when he went out. He's so key to their team that every time he goes out, we take advantage of it. So with him going out, we were able to make a run. Shane Battier, he carried us today. Nate James played well. They wouldn't let me lose today, and I thank those guys for that.
ACC tournament coming up next week. Do you all change the way you prepare for the tournament, or do you maintain the same intensity? Do you try to take it up, or you think you're where you need to be?
I think we take it up. You know, we can't wait to get Dunleavy back. He's so important to our team. But we got to keep getting better, and hope we can keep improving going into the tournament, into the NCAA 2A tournament.
Chris Carrawell, you've had a wonderful career as a Duke Blue Devil. It's been a privilege watching you play. You're a special young man. Good luck, Dave.
All right, Brad, we certainly second that. A 90-76 Duke win. And right now we're going to join John Saunders and Digger Phelps for the Payne-Weber post-game report. Take it away, gentlemen.
And Brent, you see the